It's the Anthony Cumia Show.
Entertaining and informative.
On the Red Apple Podcast Network.
The Anthony Cumia Show. Thank you for tuning in. And, boy, I missed it last week. I missed coming in here and doing the show and trying to pick the most difficult job ever, but I enjoy doing it. Trying to pick who the hell is the clown of the week.
The Anthony Cumia Show presents the Clown of the Week.
Now, if these weeks add up, and then it's a yearly thing where you add them up and you look at the Clown of the Week over the course of the 52 weeks, and you have to pick a Clown of the Year, this guy would absolutely be in contention. He'd be right up there, top of the list. Not the first time he's been the Clown of the Week. But I think you'll know why it isn't the first time when I say his name. It is, of course, Adam Schiff. Adam Schiff. Shifty Schiff. Adam Schiff, this past week, said that we need a non-partisan justice system. Can you believe a guy involved in every single kangaroo court concocted legal lawfare that has gone on? He's been a big part of each of those. And now that he's not in the driver's seat anymore, he wants a non-partisan justice system. Because what are we seeing? Are we seeing a partisan justice system? I don't think so. I think we're seeing less than that. Adam Schiff, here he is talking about how we need a non-partisan justice system.
I think we have to really try to get back to having a intelligence community, a Justice Department, an FBI that is ruthlessly nonpartisan. And we have to have the kind of leadership that can establish that and be credible about it. But you're right. I mean, their modus operandi, and it comes from the top, the fish rots from the head, is Donald Trump, whose real view, his life view is, yes, he's crooked, and yes, he's a liar, but everyone is crooked. Everyone is a liar. Everybody does it. It's just that he's the crook and the liar of the GOP. And right. That's what distinguishes him. So I do think that Trump and others like Kash Patel, they think of others as they would do themselves. And they can't imagine someone actually operating differently. But in the future, we're going to have to restore, and it'll be hard work and laborious, both the rule of law, but also the public's trust in the rule of law.
The public's trust. Does this idiot actually believe that during the Biden-Harris administration, people trusted the rule of law? People trusted that if charges were brought against people, that their political ideology wouldn't come into play? After what we saw happen to the January 6th light vandalizers, I like to call them. And like we saw with Trump's charges and the subsequent convictions, just something you've never seen. Charges that were brought on him, that Letitia James, the AG in New York, actually sold her election. She sold herself to the people saying, I am going to get Donald Trump. Well, what do you have? What crimes has he committed that you're going to go after? Oh, I don't have any crimes. I don't have anything, but I'm going to get him. That's a nonpartisan judicial system where you make up a crime to get someone instead of waiting till a crime has been committed and then bringing justice on that person for that crime. And Schiff, who's been part of, like I said before, so many blatant lies The Russia collusion thing, he committed perjury, absolutely committed perjury by lying and saying that he had evidence and information that Donald Trump's campaign was working with the Russians. And what came of that? He said that under oath. And nothing. We got nothing out of it. And there he is on one of these horrible news shows saying how we need to get the public trust back. See, and this is the stuff that I can't stand when this Epstein nonsense has to tarnish the Trump administration, which was selling to the people that we are going to go after legitimate criminals and people that have committed crimes against this country and illegal aliens and the corruption. We are going after that. And then you get something like this, and now they can just run with it. It's terrible. I hope people put it in context. But when you get someone like Schiff crowing out there with his chest out, it's going to take a lot of work. It's going to take a lot of work to regain the public trust. What, to the level it was at under Biden? No one trusted any part of his government. Not one part of his government was trusted. This guy, he'll never cease to disgust me. He should be up on charges. Legit should be up on charges. All right, stick around. Your calls and a lot more next. Plenty more of the Anthony Cumia Show coming up in moments. The Anthony Cumia Show on another wonderful Sunday evening. Thank you for spending it with me. I was scrolling through social media during the break, and I can only assume that the on X the Elmo account has been hacked. Holy jeez. There's just something about, like, somebody can post something terrible under whatever account it is. And you read it and go like, ooh, that's rough. Or, wow, that guy's got some issues. Or when you post some heinous stuff under Elmo's account, it just becomes funny. Maybe it's the comic in me. Maybe it's the shock jock in me that never went away. But it was Elmo's real account. Let's just say Elmo not very happy with the children of Israel, Netanyahu or Trump. Seems to have a problem. I would love to read it to you right here on this very program, but ain't no way I would get through the first three words without being excommunicated from the earth. But suffice to say, Elmo not happy with Israel, the people of Israel, Trump or Netanyahu. I think they've fixed it. They've deleted some of those posts. But like everything else on the internet, it lives forever, doesn't it? Elmo, you little anti-Semite, you. This is the first anniversary of the Trump assassination attempt. Right there in Butler, Pennsylvania, we all remember, a year ago to the day that Donald Trump, campaigning for president of these United States, was up there in front of a festival crowd, and someone took a shot at him. It's supposedly this kid. What the hell was his name? Oh, yeah, Thomas Matthew Crooks. He was from Bethel Park, Pennsylvania. He was readily dispatched from his rooftop perch by snipers that were on scene, yet didn't see him until after he rattled off a few shots, injuring Trump lightly in the ear and killing somebody, injuring another person. But he killed an attendee. Very tragic in that respect. And then he was dispatched, and that was a year ago, and the answers to many questions still go unanswered, out there in the ether, into the cosmos. They've had a Senate committee report. It was released this Sunday. Yeah. And it blames the U.S. Secret Service for a cascade of preventable failures that led up to the assassination attempt against then presidential candidate Donald Trump during a rally in Butler, Pennsylvania. In the report, the Senate Homeland Security and Governmental Affairs Committee said the Secret Service lack of structural communication was likely the greatest contributor to the failure on the day of the rally. Lack of structural communication. This is something any agency does when there is what we call a cluster F. You know that? FUBAR. When something goes FUBAR, if you're really old, or a cluster F, like we've called it for many years, and they go through the motions, they have a committee gets together and investigates it, and then they come out with something like lack of structured communication. How about a lack of common sense? A lack of ability to do your job as law enforcement. And I don't care if you were Secret Service that day or you were a dog catcher watching the show, and any element of law enforcement in between. A kid was walking around with a rangefinder that they saw. This wasn't even something he was able to hide. While he was walking in to the area, he had a rangefinder on him. He then got to the roof of a building, well within range of the president. This wasn't like one of these magical sniper shots you read about, a mile, 2 miles away. This was a very close range shot for a scoped weapon. He gets up there. People are yelling that there's someone with a gun up on the building. And nothing was done about it. This isn't about the communication. This is that no one in law enforcement did what they needed to do before the attempt and during the attempt. Nothing. That's what it was. Incompetence. Don't talk about communication. This was so preventable, and they're just going to let these people skate. From what I heard, the Secret Service agents, there were, how many of them? Let's see if I could find it real quickly. There were 8 of them, I think. 8 Secret Service agents or so that were suspended. And they've been since been reinstated. And they've made 21 of 46 recommendations, including streamlining the communication procedures. The communication thing, they're making like a big thing, like we didn't. What you don't? You had a pigeon. Was it a pigeon with a note on its foot, and the headwind was a little too strong? What could possibly have gone wrong with communications? I'll tell you. You didn't have communications, which is part of the incompetence part. That's part of what makes up the incompetence. We've seen many, many instances where Secret Service, other law enforcement, security for Taylor Swift. They have their earpiece in, they got a mic on their wrist, whatever it is, and they're communicating with each other. The only lack of communication was beforehand when someone might have said, let's dole out the walkie-talkies and make sure we're all on the same frequency. How about that? It wasn't, we didn't have it. This was a different time a year ago. We didn't have wireless communications. So this is just another case of incompetence covered by pure BS. Communication gaps, both within the Secret Service hierarchy and also among the agency. The Secret Service security room agent, who is responsible for collecting and disseminating information, learned about a suspicious person with a rangefinder from a counterpart in the Pennsylvania State Police roughly 25 minutes before the shooting. Before the shooting. The agent relayed the report to a fellow Secret Service agent in the room, but that information didn't go out over the radio or make it to Trump's security detail in time for them to prevent him from taking the stage. So what is that? That has nothing to do with communication per se. It's your incompetence in not communicating to other people. You can't blame it on a communication lapse. You blame it on someone who failed to communicate the issue to other people. Oh, my God. There were organizational mistakes, too. The committee noted that one of the Secret Service counter-snipers team protecting Trump at the Butler rally had an obstructed view of the roof of the nearby American Glass Research Building where Crooks was located. So you set up counter-snipers in a place where you don't have a view of everything you need, every elevated position around the area. This is all incompetence. The report, released 1 year to the day after the shooting, also found the Secret Service had denied some resources to Trump's detail. No requests were denied for the Butler rally, says Secret Service Director Kimberly Cheadle. She falsely testified that no requests were denied. So she commits perjury, almost loses a president on her watch. And what happens? She's probably in the private sector right now, working some gig. It's disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting. There's no accountability. You know, in Japan, they used to stab themselves when people screwed up this bad. Yeah, swear. What else do they got? The agency last week. Secret Service also said it had disciplined, six employees in relation to the Butler shooting with suspicions ranging from 10 to 42 days without pay. 10 to 42 days without pay. Still, the committee said in its report that not a single person has been fired. Not one person on the Secret Service detail, Trump's detail, actual detail, the Secret Service that was there logistically, the various police department agencies, including the state, Pennsylvania state troopers, the county police, the local sheriffs, and that dog catcher. Not a one has been fired. That's unbelievable. Curran, who's that? One of the agents who surrounded Trump as shots were fired in Butler, added in his statement that the Secret Service will continue to work and cooperate with the committee as we move forward in our mission. What did you do? You screwed the pooch, as they used to say. I think that's what they used to say in NASA when something went wrong. Someone screwed the pooch. And there's the only better example would have been if Trump, his head exploded like a watermelon in slow motion 4K on CNN, because for some reason CNN decided to cover that rally and have cameras running during that rally. Suspect? I don't know. What do I know? I'm a former shock jock. The Anthony Cumia Show continues in moments. Stay right there.
It's the Anthony Cumia Show on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
It indeed is the Anthony Cumia Show. Welcome. We're clearing the phone lines to get callers with new topics, anything else you want to talk about. 800-848-9222. Ponderous. And, every week we feature a segment, another segment, not just Clown of the Week, mind you, but we also have to delve into what is true, which is very rarely seen these days, and what is fake news.
Now.
Fake news, folks. Fake news.
It's the fake news.
Fake stories.
News moment.
Fake stories. It's really getting difficult, honestly, to find just blatant lies on the news these days, because they're trying so hard to not chase everyone away. Oh, you'll find them, believe me. But what I think the fake news is that you see all the time is they send the news cameras out and let the politicians speak, and then you get all the fake news you need. This week, of course, Ilhan Omar up there in Minnesota. She's in Minnesota, right? Yeah, I almost said Montana. Minnesota. She's talking about something that just annoyed the hell out of the liberal Democrats and the brother marrying people. The big, beautiful bill. Big, beautiful bill. Of course, it passed. They're all annoyed by it. And all they can do now is get up behind a podium in front of a crowd of supporters and cry about it. We can do cry about it. So here's Ilhan doing some fake news, lying her turban off about the big, beautiful bill concerning the budget and how it's hurting Americans.
I wish we were here under different circumstances, but today we are here to speak truth about the GOP's budget bill that will devastate the very people that we fight for.
Devastate.
The bill Republicans passed is the most harmful, immoral budget we have seen in modern American history.
From her?
It is a direct assault on working families in Minnesota and across this country.
How?
Let me tell you what this bill does. It slashes Medicaid, kicking 17 million Americans off their health care plans, thousands whom are in this district. This bill rips $186 billion from SNAP. That's food off the tables of our seniors, of children, and single mothers.
Lies!
People who are already struggling to get by. Here in the 5th District, that's nearly 90,000 people who rely on SNAP. I've spoken to them, and many of them are asking, how do I feed my kids and still pay my bills? This is the United States of America.
Yeah.
No one should ever have to make that choice. And while families are being told to tighten their belt, billionaires are getting a windfall. Permanent tax cuts for the rich and temporary scraps for everyone.
You could ace her right here. I mean, she's said enough where we can comment on what nonsense and bull this is. I want to talk to one person who's had their Medicaid cut or their Social Security or veterans benefits or all the other things that are supposed to, and you notice the words they were torn away, ripped away. Their benefits were ripped out of their, they can't take it. And they never even consider the fact that a lot of these benefits over the course of decades now might be going to people that aren't really qualified or worthy to get these benefits. And they always bring up the most pathetic scenario. The old person, the elderly woman who's starving in her little tenement, her one-room apartment, barely scraping by. And show me that. Show me that one. Because I'll tell you what it is, because I see a lot of it. It's huge, obese people with more kids than they should have, using our taxpayer money to buy some of the worst food, if it could even be called that, possible, to get their hair done, nails, get a phone, get some shoes, go on a carnival cruise, whatever else is going on. That's called waste. And that is one thing Donald Trump and his administration has said they will address. If there are people that are on these programs that don't belong on them, if you're capable of working, you will work. That's it. No more free rides. But that's all their constituents. That's Ilhan Omar's bread and butter, as they say. And she knows it. She does it. It's the old, you want to get that old lady or that old poor old man or the veteran that's now starving. Is that who you're trying to get to the voting booth? Or the big fat woman with boat rope, braided boat rope sewn in her head, with 3-inch long talons painted different colors. Maybe that's who you want to get to the voting booth, to keep her on SNAP and Medicaid and whatever other programs so she doesn't have to get up off her fat ass and go to work. Oh, my God. But the Democrats, like Ilhan, that's what they do. Lying. That is your fake news. She will just lie about everything when it comes to these budget cuts. When they cut budgets, the Democrats, what are they cutting? What are they possible? I don't think they do. I think they just keep piling more and more of the working Americans' tax-paying money into these programs and dole it out for votes. Make the idiots vote for them by thinking they're getting something, which they are. Everything but dignity. You know, here's some money in exchange for your dignity. Sit down, watch TV, have your little crumb stealers and rugrats running around your Section 8 apartment, and then vote for me when the time comes around, and you'll get another couple of years or 4 years of that. No one wants to really look and go, we need to cut spending. And then they get all mad. Oh, what, tax cuts for the billionaire? What? Where are they? I want to see the numbers as far as tax cuts go. Mwahaha. Is that what they do beforehand? Like the evil guy in the old cartoons tying the girl to the train tracks? Mwahaha. We're gonna lower taxes for the rich and make the old lady starve. Like, I don't think that's really happening. But that is how they present it, man. That is absolutely how it's presented to the American people by the likes of Ilhan Omar, brother, wife, I think they call it. My God. All right. Well, we'll be back in a matter of seconds, so don't go anywhere. More of your calls and more of the Anthony Cumia Show in moments.